Yeah, I know, I'm very late. Now can you please shut the fuck up? So I have watched the FNAF movie in the theater, and these are words I never expected to say in my life. Seriously, this movie has been in development since like 2015, and it got delayed for a lot of reasons. Changing studios, thank God, changing directors, multiple scripts that range from interesting to what? But finally in 2022, they finally get to make the movie as they plan to shoot the movie in 2023. There have been some wild stuff that happened before the movie even came out. From FNAF fans discovering the FNAF movie set while it's being built, to some dumbass kid leaking the FNAF movie trailer and then proceeds to make a YouTube apology video. Yes, really. Not to mention the amount of marketing that the movie had, with even the FNAF movie being discussed on late night shows.
Thank you, Chica from Five Nights at Freddy's.
It also had a very special movie premiere, and it looks so cool that I wish I was invited to it. Now, my expectations for the FNAF movie were mild. On one hand, I am very glad that the movie actually came out, and I thought that the trailers were very promising to me, and it seemed like they were doing some stuff that I wanted them to do for the movie. But at the same time, I was worried that the movie might disappoint me. Now this has nothing to do with ruin or anything, it's just that video game adaptations don't have a great track record. We did have some great adaptations of video games recently, but there are always a few stinkers here and there. Might talk about this fucking movie later. And then I accidentally saw the Rotten Tomatoes score, and it has surprised me how they rated it. I will get to talk about this later. So I have gone into the FNAF movie theater with my FNAF cosplay. A fucking depressed guy. Yes, I even wore purple clothes. And now that I have seen the movie, what did I think of it?
I liked it.
Now of course the movie does have some flaws, but what I wanna say is that move over Sonic 2, Freddy Fazbear is taking the crown as, in my opinion, my favorite video game movie. I had fun with it and I was satisfied with some of the execution they did for the movie, and I cannot wait for the sequel. I should mention that this is a quick review of the movie, not a deep dive video like the other ones I did before. And to be honest, I'm not really in the mood to make one right now. I mean, who knows, maybe I will do a deep dive video of the FNAF movie trilogy. Anyway, here's the stuff that I liked about the Funny Bear movie. Let's start with the obvious highlight of the movie, the animatronics. It was created by Jim Henson's company and they look amazing. I would go as far as to say that they are better than the original. The amount of dedication they did for the movie, as well as making the animatronics as practical as possible, is genuinely impressive. There was a bizarre lie going around before the movie came out where a bunch of YouTubers, who I'm not gonna name, thought that the animatronics were fully CGI with green screens. And considering they were denying that they're practical, kinda pisses me off to be honest. And it just discredits the work they did. There was even one person that worked on the animatronics denied the CGI claims. Oh, and speaking of the animatronics, remember when people wouldn't shut up about the red eyes that they saw in the trailer and thought that they would ruin the movie? Yeah, they were only used in the climax, and it does make sense as to why they have the red eyes in the context of the movie. The movie is shot fine, and the sets and the lighting looked amazing. It gives the movie a lot of personality compared to other video game movies, and I'm glad that they use actual sets to make the restaurant feel more alive, you know? The sound design was also great. Considering that the FNAF games have very memorable sound effects that are important to the gameplay, it's nice to see that they put effort into the sound design. I know this doesn't seem like it's important, but trust me, it is important for movies and TV shows. I also really like the score. The Newton brothers did a fantastic job with the music, and I highly recommend listening to their FNAF movie soundtrack as well as their other works. The opening credit music is honestly fire. Speaking of music, the Living Tombstone's FNAF song being played at the credits was a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. In fact, this song is so good that I let people fighting in the theater all the while the song is playing in the background. Jokes aside, what moment from the movie that could have caused this to happen? I find the references to be handled well, from Sparky the dog being in the movie, which if you don't know, is a reference to a hoax animatronic from FNAF 1. And I find this to be a crazy reference that I'm shocked that the games didn't do something similar to this, as well as many references to the Silver Eyes book, and of course we have this. I find the story to be interesting and the characters were fine too. Mike in this movie is up there with Cassie from Ruin and Charlie from the Silver Eyes trilogy as the best FNAF protagonist. Josh Hutcherson did a great job as Mike, and his arc with Garrett and Abby were very engaging. He's what I wanted out of movie Mike when they were working on the movie, and I'm happy how they handled his trauma. Piper Rubio as Abby was fantastic. Her bond with her brother is the highlight of the movie, and I'm glad they didn't try to kill her off. Elizabeth Lally also did a good job as Vanessa. The twist of her being Afton's daughter genuinely caught me off guard, and you know something? I actually like it, and it gives off the encounter with her dad at the climax to be honestly sad. Also yes, she is better than her game counterpart. And of course, we got the purple guy himself, William Afton. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean Steve Raglan. That is the worst fake name I have ever heard. You didn't even try. Unfortunately, he doesn't have as much screen time as I wanted it to be. Don't get me wrong, he was built throughout the movie, and I would not go as far as to say that he was wasted. I just wish that he had more screen time, you know? But when he did show up, he took the fucking spotlight. Matthew Lillard is my definitive William Afton, and I like how crazy he looked when he was in the Spring Bonnie suit, and I cannot wait for more of him in the sequels. I liked all of the performances of the actors really. Even the kids did a fine job in the movie, except for Garrett. He was so strange for some reason. The deaths were surprisingly grim. Like, it's not a shock to everyone that the movie's rating is PG-13, considering that the games have the same target audience. And even if I'm interested in an R-rated FNAF, I am at least glad we didn't get a version of this movie where it's just shock value and edgy. However, they managed to get away with some stuff in the movie. I did not expect Max's death to be her getting eaten in half and being shown on screen. I also really liked the humor. The audiences at my theater laughed at Hank's hilarious scream, the callback to the whole two things from Afton, and of course we laughed at the best character in the movie, Doug.
My guy's pretty like a girl, and he got 5 stories to tell.
Seriously, this guy looks like he has a gun being pointed at him. I want him to be a recurring character in the trilogy. He's on par with Saul Goodman and Phoenix Wright for me. And if you disagree, well, fuck you. The fourth scene is a very divisive moment in the movie, but I find this scene to be funny to me, you know? Considering the animatronics are possessed by kids, it makes sense as to why they act like this, and I never had a problem with the tone. It just made the movie stand out for me. So yeah, you can tell that I liked a lot of stuff about the movie. However, this movie does have some gripes that I wanted to address, such as... this movie isn't that scary. It's more shocking than scary, to be honest, and surprisingly, it doesn't have that many jump scares, so there's that. Balloon Boy is in the movie and he felt unnecessary to me. No, it's not because I hate this fucking little shit. It's just that he could have been cut from the movie. I don't know, maybe I will get used to it when I rewatch the movie. The Abby subplot gets dropped off out of nowhere. Like, after Aunt Jane gets killed by Golden Freddy, at least I think, the entire subplot doesn't get a proper conclusion. And it's really strange. We couldn't get a scene where Mike talks about her death or something. I am fully aware that there have been some scenes that have been cut from the movie, so hopefully in the future they release either a director's cut or an extended cut for the movie. The film also has cameos. Now originally I was against the idea of YouTubers showing up in the FNAF movie, even if they're cameos, but after seeing the photos and Corey's cameo in the trailers, I was actually fine with how they handled it. And it was handled well in the movie anyway. Then Matt Bat showed up.
What the fuck?
I genuinely think that he was kind of out of place in the entire movie. Doesn't help the fact that he says his catchphrase.
Some people say that, but you know, it's just a theory.
Look, I don't have a hate boner for Matt Bat compared to other people from the FNAF community. It's just that this scene was so fucking weird to me. What's funny about his character is that his name is Ness, which was confirmed to be a reference to Matt Bat's infamous Sans is Ness theory. And when you think about it, this is technically an Undertale reference. In the fucking FNAF movie, a film based on an indie game, referencing a controversial theory to another indie game, and also a reference to a Nintendo game. Okay, this is making me go crazy. Let's wrap this up. Despite the problems that I have with the movie, I really enjoyed it. Been waiting for this movie to come out since it was announced back in 2015. I was 10 at the time, now I'm 19. God, I feel so fucking old. You can tell that the crew that worked on the film cared so much about the source material. And I feel like that's the kind of people you want to have when adapting something into a different medium, instead of hiring people who hate or don't give a shit about the source material. It's a reason why people hated the Halo show and also the Witcher TV show. I am excited about the sequel and hopefully will be better than the first one, as well also address the criticism that the people had for the movie, which apparently they are doing as they are reworking the sequel script due to the criticism of the first movie. By the way, can I just say how fucking insane that the FNAF movie is doing very successfully while other big IP movies keeps bobbing from left to right. Imagine Freddy Fazbear beating you at the box office. That's gonna be embarrassing. Oh, and if you are wondering, what do I think of the people, especially critics, for giving the movie negative reviews? Well, you wanna hear my thoughts? You want my opinion on these people? Look, it's very silly and so stupid for toxic FNAF fans getting angry at people for not liking the movie. This film is not for everyone, and there have been some valid criticism of the movie. Stop focusing on these review sites and watch the movie for yourself to form your own opinion. I am begging you to stop this childish behavior because as a community, we are better than this. Sure, the Rotten Tomatoes score is way too low for me. 60% or even 50% would have made sense. And there have been some bizarre criticism towards the movie, but we don't want another Sonic 2 and Mario movie situation, please. And don't be ashamed for loving or hating the FNAF movie. Can we at least agree on that? Okay? Okay. Anyway, I'm giving the FNAF movie a 7.5 out of 10. Now hopefully in the sequel, they kill off Toy Bonnie.
What the fuck?
And speaking of critics, here's a movie that was received very well by them. On the same day that I watched the FNAF movie, I also saw X. Now, it's not a secret that I'm a fan of these confusing yet hilarious series of movies. They almost feel like a soap opera, but with gore. And I was gonna see Saw X anyway, but I wanted to talk about it in this video because 1. I wanted to talk about something that isn't FNAF related, and 2. Saw X and the FNAF movie had the same release date, October 27. While FNAF fans didn't mind that the movie is gonna come out on the same day as the FNAF movie, Saw fans were not happy about this, as they don't want this movie to bomb. This has happened before with Saw 6 and 3D. While these two movies didn't fail or anything, they weren't as successful as another horror series that was rising up at the time of these movies releasing, that being the Paranormal Activity movies. But like, I don't care. I love these two franchises in my heart. This is my Barbenheimer. I even remember the official Saw Twitter account making this image of Freddy Fazbear with the reverse bear trap. Does this even work on him? And I was so excited to do a double feature, and I just couldn't wait to watch these movies on the same day. I was really hyped. Oh, never fucking mind, they delayed Saw X further to September. Lionsgate, the company behind these movies, even tried to do their own Barbenheimer with Saw X and the fucking Paw Patrol movie. But you already had one, are you kidding me? And I said like, fuck it. I'm gonna pray that Saw X would still be in theaters, as I can watch both movies on October 27th. And what did I think of it? It was okay. By Saw standards, this is easily top 3 Saw movie, and this one is very ambitious compared to the other ones. Basically, this movie follows the villain of the series, John Kramer, where he goes to Mexico to get his treatment, which yes, just like Breaking Bad, Mexico has the piss filter. Well, by that logic, Saw 11 should be in black and white. After realizing that he was scammed, he kidnaps the doctors that scammed him and put them in his game, with the help of Amanda. What I find funny about this movie is that it tries to make you feel sad about John Kramer, even though he's a fucking murderer.
Killing is distasteful.
Oh, shut up. Now yeah, John Kramer did put some terrible people in his game, but in Saw 3, he put a doctor in his game because she was depressed. And also in Saw 6, he put a janitor in his game because he smoked cigarette. Also in 3D, he put a woman that did nothing wrong and dies in the most horrific way, and that's only because her husband lied about being in the Saw games, which she didn't even know it was a lie. What's also funny is that in X, we have this doctor who is as bad as John Kramer, and she is so cartoonishly evil. She even drags a child into the traps. He doesn't die, obviously, but still, what the fuck? William Afton got nothing on this bitch. It is disappointing that she doesn't get what she deserves. Like, I expected her shitty boyfriend to survive the gas trap and she dies in it, but no, she gets away with it.
That was a bit anticlimactic.
There is a rumor that she will come back in the sequel, but who knows. I also should mention that this movie is really slow. Like, I think it takes about an hour into the game, which kinda drags the pacing, to be honest. But hey, I did have a fun experience with this movie. It's shot fine, the traps are absolutely brutal, and it's hard to witness these in the big screen, to be honest. I like Amanda being in this movie, and I like her relationship with John Kramer, even if her haircut fucking sucks. I also really like the post-credit scene because Hoffman is back, baby, and it's honestly better than the last Saw movies.
I am him.
No, you ain't.
Anyway, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. Hey fellas, this is gonna be a small update on the channel. Originally it was gonna be its own big video, just like last time, but I didn't really feel like it, honestly. So this year has been honestly terrible. I had to go through some personal stuff, like school problems, family problems, getting sick a lot, especially at the beginning of the year, and also I injured my wrist. I was not expecting this year to be this much of a clusterfuck. I don't know what's gonna happen in 2024, and I'm honestly scared, but let's see what's gonna happen. However, despite this year being terrible for me, this was a good year for the channel. Unfortunately, I had to delay and cancel some videos that were planned to release in 2023, so it explains why there wasn't that many uploads compared to 2022. But I was satisfied with the videos that I uploaded on this channel. The FNAF movie leak video blown up in views, and while it's not as good as the FF King video, it still got me popular, so there's that. I got to celebrate the 5th anniversary for the channel. It was very fucking stressful to make that video, but still. And then like at the end of October, the channel just kind of blown up. I have reached from 600 subscribers to 2,000 subscribers at the time I'm recording this audio, which is really insane to think about. And also the Sam video became my most viewed video of all time. And the Tony video became my 4th most viewed video on the channel. And I have gotten some hilarious comments, to be honest. It was fun to read them. I have nothing to say other than just thank you. Thank you so much for this. All of your support has helped me going through this terrible year, and I cannot thank you enough for that. I should mention that I don't make only FNAF videos. I have other stuff to make, honestly. I also should mention that I should take a break from this channel. I will upload videos in 2024, but I know for a fact that the YouTube algorithm would not love this idea and will leave my channel dead. But if that's the sacrifice I have to do to keep my mental health in a good state, then fuck it. Do your worst, I guess. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I want to say for the last time, thank you for supporting me. Hope all of you have a nice Christmas and New Year's Eve, and I will see you guys in 2024. Goodbye.
You are wretched, rotten little beast. Look how small you are.